Many people I meet think they're on track for a good retirement, but when we sit down and look at the numbers properly, they're often shocked at how far off they really are. Not because they didn't save or invest enough, or because they made any bad decisions, but because the world changed and their plan didn't. I've seen this again and again through the financial planning work I do. People who thought they had enough suddenly realizing they don't. And it doesn't hit you straight away either. It hits you years later when it's much harder to fix. So in this video, I'll show you the hidden problem in most retirement plans and how to avoid running out of money when you need it most. But first, if you're planning for retirement or even just starting to think about it, we've put together a free checklist that will help you answer the questions every one of us needs to know in order to have a happy, stress-free retirement. These are the same questions I walk through with clients to help them build a life that's not just financially stable, but actually enjoyable. Grab it using the link below. The year 2000, a time when we worried about computers not recognizing the new date and planes falling out of the sky as our beloved machines were baffled and left counting the years on their fingers. A time when we asked the real Slim Shady to please stand up. A certain Mr. Vladimir Putin was elected. I wonder how that's all going now. All whilst Brad Pitt was left wondering,
What?
Yeah, Dags.
Dags. It's like Dags.
some might say simpler times, especially when you think that this Freddo was 10p. Look at it now, 30 bloody p. I wouldn't mind, but my son eats them like it's the year 2000. Its price has tripled in 25 years, and here lies my point. According to the Bank of England's inflation calculator, this Freddo should only cost 19p if it had followed the rate of inflation as measured by the Consumer Prices Index, or CPI, over this period from the year 2000 to 2025. I know it's in pounds, I couldn't make it do pence, but you get the idea. So, what's happening here? We all know inflation is the silent killer of our money, stealing its purchasing power over time. It's why we have to invest our money in assets that will grow in value rather than sticking it all under the mattress for a rainy day. But get this, the rate of inflation you hear about and how much more expensive your life actually gets are two very different things indeed. Still good, even at 30p. The Bank of England has a target inflation rate of 2% a year, as dictated by the government. This is thought to be the sweet spot, not too high or volatile so businesses struggle to set sensible prices for goods and services, and not too low as to put people off spending as they expect prices to fall. 2% is Goldilocks' favourite bowl of porridge that keeps the economy moving in the right direction. But how do they measure it? Well, each month, the Office for National Statistics collect around 180,000 prices of about 700 different items. They use this shopping basket to work out the Consumer Prices Index, CPI. And it's this CPI that they track to quote this headline rate of inflation. Currently, the rate of inflation, as I record this video, as measured by this CPI index, is 3.4%. 1.4% hotter than Goldilocks likes her breakfast. And because this figure is more than 1% away from the target, the Bank of England is forced to write a letter to the government to explain why. Makes me laugh. It's like writing an apology letter to your mum for your grades at school, something I, of course, never had to do. And I actually have a copy of the latest letter here. Look. Dear Mr. Prime Minister, sorry, it won't happen again. Probably. Bank of England. Okay, so I'm being a bit silly. Here's the actual most recent letter, citing reasons around increasing household energy prices, food prices, in particular meat, chocolate and non-alcoholic drinks, etc. I won't bore you with the details, but I'll leave a link in the description for anyone that's interested. So, the cost of living is increasing at a faster rate than we'd like, but here's the thing. Some things are going up in price more than others. You will in fact have your very own personal rate of inflation that may be very different to the quoted figures here, and it all depends how you spend your money. This is even more important to understand when it comes to retirement planning, as we are now spending down our money and needing it to last. You can download a list of the items in the notional basket that they are tracking the prices of from the Office for National Statistics. It will also show you how it's changed over time. For example, minced turkey is out, ready-to-use noodles are in. Christ, that's a damning reflection of society, isn't it? So, if we think about someone moving into retirement, is their rate of inflation actually being accurately predicted by CPI? i.e., is what's in their basket the same as if you'd employed Andrew Bailey to go and do your shopping for you? Do you think he buys ready-to-use noodles? If you're someone who loves cheese, olive oil, and going on a plane, oh boy, the last couple of years have been tough for you. Cheese up 25%, olive oil up 39%, airfares increased over 40% during some quarters. Makes sense, doesn't it? If you travel more, you're exposed more to airfare and hotel inflation. If you buy more high-quality groceries or eat out more, your food inflation is higher. So how can you even start to work out your personal rate of inflation? Here's a tool from the ONS that will help you get an insight into your own personal rate of inflation. I'll leave a link in the description. You can either take a look at general average figures or use average figures for similar income households to you, or even better, analyse your spending or how you envisage spending your money in retirement to get your own personal figures, and then you can see how it differs from the headline rate. Here's an example. Assuming I've got a paid-off house, so no mortgage or rent payment, I'll ask it to show me the averages from similar income households and say a total income of 70,000, so I've got a benchmark. And I'm going to switch it to the more detailed version, which gives me more options to really tell it how I'm spending my money. Fill everything in from groceries to housing, communication to transport, and finally leisure and any other generic costs. And if you're unsure on a section, you can hover over the blue eye on each category and it will explain what kind of things they mean for each box. So let me just add how much I spent on scented candles from Lush. And here we go. My personal rate of inflation is 2.9% from May 24 to May 25, which is actually lower than the current quoted figures, but still more than the 2% target. And we can see here more about how that has tracked across the last 5 years. Interestingly, from 2021 to the end of 2023, my personal rate of inflation tracked higher than CPIH. Oh, I should say what that is, shouldn't I? CPIH is similar to CPI, but includes the costs of owning, maintaining and living in a home, which CPI doesn't. So yes, my spending was getting more expensive through our recent inflation spike, even worse than the quoted figures. In some instances by around 1.5%, which is not insignificant. But unless you take the time to actually sit down and work out your personal inflation rate, you risk burning through your savings faster than you planned for. And if it gets really bad, you'll probably have to start settling for Dinos instead. No, I'm not eating this one as well. Shock fact about me, if you're ready, I don't really like chocolate. You see, the things I do for you on this channel. And if you're sitting there wondering what inflation means for your planning, then it might be time for a proper review. We offer a free initial retirement planning call where we can talk more about you and your numbers and how financial planning could help you take control of your retirement. You can book a free call using the link below. So now you know why working out your personal rate of inflation is a smart thing to do, but knowing the numbers is just one part of the puzzle. If you want to see how one small decision completely changed someone's retirement timeline and help them leave work 5 years earlier, watch this next video. It's a real example of how smart planning beats hard saving every time.